I have started recording. So we'll hit the intro for a little bit.
It's a banger of an intro.
This was made by Dylan.
Oh, really? Yeah, it is. Hey, everybody. Curtis and Spencer coming back with episode 2 of our podcast that we still haven't named. So that's exciting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you haven't heard the first one, that's okay. Probably not many people have because we haven't really publicized it, but it's on our YouTube channel if y'all want to give that a watch too. But we're here today to talk a little bit about ourselves, about the Atlanta Submission Series, about maybe some stuff that's going on right now in it, some stuff coming down the pipeline. And just kind of take a little State of the Union on everything. Spencer, you wanna get started telling the people a little bit about you, man?
Yeah, guys. So just for you guys that don't know me, my name's Spencer. I work I'm really involved with PETA Mediterranean street food. We have around 34 restaurants now. We have 28 in the Atlanta area, so we're just growing really fast. So my day job is doing that, opening up restaurants, doing training of all the people, top to bottom, so doing all that stuff. So during the day, I'm traveling a lot, doing a lot of stuff like that. So if you guys ever hear me call you, that's probably why, because I'm always on the road. But yeah, so during the day, I do that. And then I go and train over at ATT Sandy Springs with Ernesto for my no-gi training. And then I also train over at Team Octopus as well to get no-gi training in over there as well.
Yeah, and I'm obviously Curtis. So I'm in tech. Like neither. It's funny. Spencer and I don't really have backgrounds in anything adjacent to what we're doing with the Atlanta Submission Series. After I got out of the Marine Corps, I started doing like data analytics and stuff like that. And I ended up at Piedmont Healthcare here in Atlanta, and I've been one of their main like data guys for a long time. So just a lot of like nerdy math and coding and stuff. I train over at Team Octopus, Sandy Springs. I'm one of Geek Curry's guys. I also cross train a good bit with ATT and some other gyms in the area. Y'all probably see me bouncing around quite a bit. But yeah, I think Spencer, you have a little bit of an itinerary we want to dive into.
Yeah, guys. So we made a little bit of a list of what we're going to dive into today. This is our little week 1 breakdown that we got for you guys, brought to you by Atlanta Submission Series. So, we just got that intro done, and then we're going to talk about some special guests that are coming this weekend, the highlights of the weekend as well, what we liked, what we didn't like about it, changes that we're going to make because of what we liked and didn't like. Then we're going to maybe possibly dive into what's going on in the jiu-jitsu world with like CJI, ADCC, but we might do that at the end if we have time for that. And then we'll talk about the women's cash bracket that's coming up this Sunday.
Man, that's going to be a banger.
Yeah,
y'all.
Dude, I'm so excited.
I'm telling y'all, I think the women's bracket might be the most entertaining of all of them. All those teams are sick. Like, all those girls are really, really talented grapplers. I think we're in for a dogfight.
Female grappling is easy to sell to, I think, because it's like really like it's something different that you don't normally see girls do, and so like seeing it, I think it's like a really cool aspect.
Women's 3-person team super fight cash bracket is super unique.
Yeah.
Which is like a pretty cool and kind of interesting thing to be attached to this whole spectacle that's really unique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like...
Well, do you want to dive into the women's cash bracket first then?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's throw a curveball at people 5 minutes into the episode.
Yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead.
Are we past the 5-minute mark, Spencer?
Let's see.
So
you're at 4.
Okay, funny story. We can't use any profanity for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, something like that, according to YouTube.
Yeah, and so this is me like holding my breath right now. Like it's very difficult for me, but we've almost made it. But yeah, let's go women's cash bracket.
So we have 3 different girls teams signing up for it. We have a Team Octopus team, Foley from Team Octopus, and then we have Yadetsi, Kristen, and Lauren. On that one. Lauren's a purple belt on that one. It's a solid squad right there, honestly.
Yeah, Yadetsi too. Like, she's pretty much, I think, beaten almost every regular blue belt
in the Atlanta
competitor
area,
in the Atlanta area that's in her weight class at some point or another. So she's going to be extremely formidable. And Kirsten, she's newer. She hasn't been competing for quite as long, but she's also like just walked in and won everything the few things she has done.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what she does out there. I think she'll do a really good job.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, she's tough, man. Like, she's tough.
And then we have the Assassins. We have who's rounding out that squad?
So that's going to be Kat and Jaden from 10th Planet, and then they've got their third member from Atos. So obviously, like, that's a pretty potent combination.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean, just with 10th Planet and Atos, those names alone are pretty well-known names in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, I think like some people might sleep on the Atos factor because they kind of associate them more with like IBJJF style gi jiu-jitsu, but their no-gi is insane over there too. Like Moose, Alex, Faye, all of them are just absolute killers. So I'm sure this won't be any different, which I'm kind of interested to see because they're going to be much more new meta than probably all the Octopus ladies. So I'm interested to see like how their more like wrestling guard-based approach is how that's gonna match up.
Yeah, I really don't know. I haven't seen a lot of I know the girls from like Elizabeth or the other third squad as well.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and jump into that too. That's our real X factor that Spencer and I are excited about.
Elizabeth, Yennefer, and
Kay. Yeah. So Kay is ATT Atlanta, blue belt. I think she's very talented from what I've seen from her. Yen Bertowski is out of Sakura. She is a blue belt. She is training for
Sakura. Made a sick graphic for them today.
Yeah, man,
that was so cool.
It was awesome. It looked professional. Chris, if that was you, shout out, man. That was.
You're also at 6.5 minutes now. So you're
that was fucking sick, dude. Yeah. Oh, thank fucking God, I can fucking say fuck again. All right, I had to get that back out of my system. But yeah, no. So Yen, she's training for like Worlds IBJJF right now, I think, and this is like her, like, oh well, this will be a good like. Let me go get some more.
All three squads are solid.
Yeah, and then Elizabeth Mama Bear Gonzalez, one of my favorite, like from a personal standpoint, one of my favorite training partners.
I love Mama Bear, man.
She is.
Hey, let's just go ahead and hit this for Mama Bear real quick. Oh, damn it, there we go. Now we got our applause going.
Yeah, happy birthday, Elizabeth. But yeah, no, she's like one of my favorite training partners. She's a scrapper. Like she's one of the big up and coming female MMA fighters right now in the Atlanta scene. She makes statements.
Dominates in her fights too.
She makes statements every time she goes out there. She's a bruiser. Their team, I think, is going to be very, very interesting because they have like 3 super unique styles. Like the others, they're going to be more like people that train together regularly or like are from one gym. So, they're going to all kind of like complement each other and have a specific game plan. Now, these girls, they have been getting together for like the last week to train together, but like 3 or 4 training sessions tops. Like it's probably more like 1 or 2. But like let's say they got 3 or 4 sessions in together. That's really not that much time to like sync up and kind of like get into a rhythm with one another. So it's going to be 3 individual efforts on their part with like, support from one another in between, which is going to be kind of an interesting dynamic to see play out too.
I do like though that like we have created like these little friend groups now. Like I see the Misfits guys are all like talking to each other a lot.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about the Misfits, man.
We have those guys that are, like all these girls are now hanging out and like training together too. So like we created like a little community now with all these people that are like reaching out to each other. Probably wouldn't have hung out with each other in the first place or even known each other.
And that's like
that's pretty cool.
That's definitely the most rewarding part of this for Spencer and I so far is like actually seeing that it's not just lip service, that like there actually are mostly positive ripple effects from this event.
Yeah, I mean everyone's been super supportive of us, been like really helpful, and like there has been a few hiccups along the road.
Well, you also like you got to remember there's like 70 athletes from like 9, 10 gyms in the Atlanta area competing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like you can't have that many people involved in close quarters events like day after day, week after week, without there being some kind of drama or butting heads or whatever. But for the most part, everybody's been super cool about everything. Like people are actually kind of like coming together. There's a lot of teams that are like, I see them kind of like adding each other on Instagram or like commenting on each other's.
Dude, that Chris Schwarting kid gained like 25 followers after that first event. Dude, that's
Chris
crazy.
Schwartzman is dude's an absolute specimen, man.
Nuts,
Like,
bro. Nuts.
I don't know what the hell's going on up in Dahlonega, but like, I gotta make a weekend trip up there,
Dude, he had that shirt on. He says Kingsland Meats, whatever that is. We got to get on the Kingland Meat, bro.
Yeah, like I asked him what his secret was, and he just kind of pointed at his shirt and said Kingland meat. Like didn't exaggerate, like or didn't elaborate at all. You know, it was just so that's up to the imagination, I guess, of the viewers. But that dude
Man,
is
he's funny.
he's awesome, and he's a really good grappler too. Like
But-
it's crazy that he's a fresh blue belt.
Yeah, I mean, going into things that like I think like we can go into like what we liked and what we didn't like. One thing that I think a lot of people aren't liking is how long the season is.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be a lot better to make it longer, but just so then people could like adapt for it and have time to like prepare for it. But I think everyone kind of wants like a 2-week kind of season instead of this 2-week break, third weekend kind of thing.
Yeah, like it's turned into more of a grind for sure than I think.
And way
anyone-
too much for us too, just to manage for sure.
Jesus.
So I think going forward, what do you think? Probably just like a 2-week season, maybe.
Yeah, I've got a couple of concepts I've sort of been like mulling over in my mind. One is like a 2-week season, like you're saying. We go out there, we do one weekend round robin or just rando matches
For the seating and stuff, and then just do
Yeah,
like what
and
we did
then-
this time for the tournament on the next weekend or
Exactly.
whatever.
Then the next weekend's the actual
Yeah.
postseason. I considered maybe doing like Monday through Friday evening. Like I know it would suck, but like just exhibition matches, like one division per evening, and then like maybe like Friday.
That might not be too bad if we could like hop over to all the gyms, but that would be like so much more work for us if we had to go to like all the different gyms to like.
Oh no! Like
Figure out where it
they
was.
would all go to they'd all come to ATT.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, we like
So we would have like Monday through Friday, just like
Yeah,
you would
like-
show up at like 4 to 5, and there's like 2 matches that may be going
Well,
on or something.
or like classes. Oh no, that's because classes will be going on.
Yeah,
so it'd
that's
be
just
like
the only-
show up at 9 and we'll be done by midnight on a Tuesday.
yeah, that's
doesn't
correct.
really.
Yeah,
I don't know, but like
we'll figure it out. But that's like I don't know. There's so many options that we can do there. So
yeah. So
the
I
Monday
guess
through Friday one's not a bad idea though.
I guess just transparency wise, like Spencer and I are we want to keep doing like events on a regular cadence, but we might maybe be interested in gravitating more towards like super fight style events with like 1 or 2 multi-week seasons a year. Because I mean, the season itself is a cool concept, but it takes a lot of buy-in, a lot of commitment, a lot of coordination.
Maybe if we gave like a little bit more of a notice than 2 months, people would have been more able to, or like a month and a half. That
I
we
don't
gave.
think it would make a difference because, like, look, a lot of our community, like a lot of you guys, you know, y'all have like you're like medical professionals or first responders or bartenders or whatever, and like you have kind of atypical schedules that
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
true.
really, you know, you can't just email your boss 3 months in advance, block off your Outlook calendar, and out of
Yeah.
sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So I think we're always going to have issues with people when we need them to commit to multiple weekends at a regular cadence. So I think you're right. Like cutting down and still doing like maybe a mini season, like just a 2-parter.
I just like this season just for the aspect of giving people more matches for what
Yeah.
they're getting currently. But
Well, the big thing about that is there's not really any other way to get like throwaway competition reps in.
yeah, and that's what I feel like that was kind of our mission with it, was to like give people more of a competition scene. So at least we're still kind of giving that with like the 1 weekend warm up. But that's why I liked the 2 weekend, because then it felt like, you know, you had all that time for it.
And for the record, like I think that's the most valuable part of this whole experience for people is that it's really hard to get free, safe competition reps where you know like, oh, like this isn't for my entire entry fee on the line this first match. So like that's a really unique aspect of all of
And
this.
it's getting streamed. I mean, our last view, like our last thing on YouTube has like a 1,500 views already,
Yeah,
which isn't
guys,
that much in the YouTube sphere, but for like the Atlanta Jiu-Jitsu scene on YouTube, that doesn't really have that much exposure. It's pretty solid to start out. I can't wait to see what these next numbers are going to look like, honestly.
Yeah, y'all are doing numbers, man. Like all the competitors tuning into this. It's really awesome to see because I know some of y'all out there are a little more used to that kind of exposure, if not more exposure. But The rest of us, like, this is kind of unique. Like, we might get 50 likes on our Naga, silver medal picture.
Yeah, now they have like legit like video of them competing, like a highlight clip of them competing
Which-
and stuff. And like, you're not gonna get that from a Naga. Like, you're just gonna get like your picture on a podium with you with two other people.
Well,
So-
what's really cool about that is that like our sponsors and our prospective sponsors are watching through the lens of like, well, do we want to throw these guys some money so we can have them market for us?
Yeah, and I see all of our
but
athletes
they're-
going to eat at the restaurants and stuff. Doing
Well, even bigger than that, though, is that a lot of these athletes, like, they're going to be getting eyes on them from companies who are like, oh, we're in the sphere to sponsor. And it's sooner or later going to occur to them that they can sponsor individual athletes.
exactly. And so now we're like, people like who aren't well known are gonna have access now to
Yeah,
get
open lines of
sponsorship,
dialogue with
hope-
companies willing to sponsor.
and then hopefully be able to train more often. So there's just such a good path that we can start carving for people if they just, buy in a little bit to the Atlanta Submission Series a little bit.
Yeah, which for anybody out there who maybe has like, their own business or like they know somebody, like I think sponsorship for us is actually going to be something that's like, pretty symbiotic for the sponsors themselves. Like we're getting them tons of exposure, especially considering that it's all concentrated locally.
Yeah, like all of our Instagram exposure has been like right now, not all of it, but like relatively all of it has been in the Atlanta area, which is pretty good for
Yeah.
our sponsors. So then once we break out into like that southeast region, and then we're going to break out even more, it'll help bring all brands and all athletes to a more nationally known level.
Yeah, and why that's extra exciting too is like they're going to start paying us more money because we offer them something proven.
And then which we can just increase the price for
yeah,
all of the,
exactly.
and then we can give more money to all of the
Yeah, like
athletes.
guys, we're trying to like start giving away like, I mean, actual purses that could potentially improve like your overall financial situation instead of just, oh, cool, that's my car payment for the month, or beer money for the weekend, and I recouped my entry fee.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good start. I mean, what we've done so far, the people that are in it right now are really cool. Like, we have really cool athletes that are in it right now. We have really cool sponsors right now. So, like, I think this first season's off to, like, a really good start.
Yeah, this was definitely best case scenario. I Spencer might be a little more like optimistic than me, but I kind of thought that this was gonna like go belly up a million other ways.
Oh, dude, there were so many times I
Yeah.
thought this was going to go up. There were so many times where I was up at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning, like, pacing in the room. And, like, should I tell Curtis that, like, this is over right now? I
Yeah,
felt like I was dating in high school all over again, bro.
Spencer and I have been like magicians pulling rabbits out of our asses for like the last 3 or 4 months.
Dude, I've always worked for somebody else.
Dude,
I've never had to I've had like small things, but like never like something large to where a lot of people depend on you. And that stress of owning something and then like also having these people depend on you to like perform like a good product and then also cater to like all of their things that they want. It was something that I was not expecting. I thought we were just going to make a cool product and then like
Yeah,
that's it. I didn't think of all the other things that come with it.
Yeah, no, this was much more daunting than I think either of us thought it was ever gonna
100%. We just thought we were doing something cool.
Well, like, I don't know. That's kind of the cool thing about Atlanta, though, is we didn't really try that hard to make this huge. But, like, it's...
I disagree. We were driving all over the place, dude. We went to every single gym in the
yeah,
Atlanta area.
but that's to get buy-in because we didn't know, like, how many people were just going to register for this on their own without us going out there and convincing them.
That's true.
So, like, I think you and I were, like, hoping that maybe we'd get, like, 50-plus people.
Yeah, I mean, I was really happy that we got 70.
But
well, actually, we're at 68, but we're waiting on the last registration to go through, and then it'll be 69 athletes.
69. But yeah, no, like I think we were both kind of the mindset like, 30 people would be pretty cool or something like that. So
Yeah, so I mean, there's a ton of other team grappling organizations out there too, and haven't been able to get nearly as many numbers as what we've gotten. So the fact that we're at these numbers is really good.
yeah, like people who actually do this full time and professionally and have experience in these spheres have tried this exact concept and have executed it far poorly. So I mean, I feel pretty good about that.
I mean, for what we know and what like our knowledge is of like running a business, running a jiu-jitsu league, organizing people, organizing jujitsu athletes for one, like raising money, dispersing money, where money, like all those things. I think we're doing a pretty good job
Yeah.
relatively.
I mean, I think so too, and I think we're already creating more opportunities and more innovation in the Atlanta area, because that's like a big thing that Spencer and I wanted to do, is get the ball rolling, get some momentum built up, open some new doors, and like, we want to elevate Atlanta jiu-jitsu, but it's going to take more than just Spencer and I doing this part-time 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
a
dude,
year.
I'm so pumped about the people that have like helped us like start this. Like Courtney, shout out ATL Rick James, bro, love you. Joe and Dylan and Kevin Sherrill, for real, Kevin, you were the best.
Sean Applegate
has helped us a lot. Greg Sirico has helped.
Which by
Felipe Abu, like all these people have stepped up so much to help us with this. So
yeah, and speaking of Greg, I mean, shout out to him. Like, he's doing an Odyssey quartet thing here, in the next like few months, and it's cool. Like I don't think if Spencer and I would have started this, that like people would be thinking to do quartets or
yeah.
team-based.
I mean, we've started a whole new wave now of things going on now. So I think we're going to see a lot more like independent tournaments versus like these big names come through, because like why would you want to go compete for something like that when you can go compete for something sick and have like cool exposure?
Yeah, exactly. And then like Greg's thing's gonna be early October. Like Spencer and I are talking about potentially doing like a late October, early November.
I'm getting married early October, so it will not be early October. I can promise you that.
To clarify, when Spencer says he's getting married early October, it's not to me.
Yes. Also, Curtis and I do not date. We just hang out a lot because of this.
It's purely sexual. Nothing else. I promise. There's no emotion behind it. No, but yeah, we're talking about doing a super fight night like late fall, where I don't know. We haven't really fleshed this out too much yet, because it's just been like white knuckling trying to get through this season, that it's been hard to prioritize talking about anything after it.
True.
But we definitely were interested in bringing in some out-of-town talent. We'll say that. We're interested in exploring a team format.
We've had a lot of people reach out to us, too, since they've seen what we're doing on Instagram from out of state. We have a lot of people that have reached out to us trying to come down here and put their names in the Atlanta scene. So
yeah, we're working on reeling in some bigger out-of-town fish.
We got some people from Texas, from Chicago.
Yeah.
I had someone DM me on my personal Instagram from Florida as well. So
yeah, we've already got people coming in from the Carolinas to compete this season.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I think we're about to really be able to, like, showcase Atlanta Jiu-Jitsu versus other cities, instead of just, look at Atlanta.
Yeah, we already have somebody competing from another state in this tournament. Like, just imagine, like, dude, it's crazy. Like, the exposure that people see this thing one time and they're like, we need to go down there and compete against those guys. Like, those guys are legit. Like, that's actually a scene.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, I mean, it's so exciting to see that, like, this is actually creating ripple effects in a positive way throughout the community.
Let's get into let's see what we got. We got highlights, changes being made. You want to get over changes being made, or do you want to go over the highlights?
Yeah, we'll talk about some changes. So short-term changes, i.e. differences between last weekend and this weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, there's so many things that you have to account for when you're making rule sets that Spencer and I never really, like, we took for granted or never really thought about. So, like, some of this stuff was just sort of gray areas, and we always like to err on the side of give the athletes the benefit of the doubt and keep the action going.
Yeah.
So, for some things, like, they were a little bit controversial at the time, but I would much rather let people
just keep it going, like
exactly.
ADCC, like just whatever, it doesn't matter, just let it go. Like if we were training in a gym, it would keep going if it got to the wall. So like,
yeah,
it's not like, it's whatever.
Yeah. So this weekend, first of all,
but now we made it legit rules for it, so it makes more sense.
Yeah, so we can all be on the same page.
Yeah.
So this weekend, it's going to be coaches aren't allowed in the inner matting, just the black border. And if the match goes outside the inner matting, the coach can obviously go wherever. At that
yeah,
point.
it's just we don't want the coach to get really in the way of everything. Like, we know Kevin's not going to get in the way of anybody. He's a very dynamic coach. He likes to get in and around everywhere. But, like, some of the other coaches may not want that part of it because they're not as mobile or don't want to be as mobile. So, just not limiting Kevin, but also just like making it more fair for everybody.
I like how everybody knows who the guilty party was here, so we could just come out and say it's the Kevin rule now.
I mean, Kevin loves coaching his guys. Let's be honest. He loves the sport. He loves his guys. He's going to give everything he wants for to showcase his people. So I don't blame him.
No, I don't either. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I just think, it's not as fair if like you see him doing it and then the other coaches are like, are we allowed to do that? Are we not allowed to do that? So just so we have like a concrete ruling on it, then it's like, okay, that makes sense. But Kevin's going to take advantage of the situation regardless. Of course, he's just going to step on the mat and coach this guy. I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing if I didn't know the rule.
And then we have our other big Kevin Burig, pulling the old switcheroo because, we never said you're not allowed to substitute back out.
Yeah.
So we've had to implement a new rule for this weekend. If you win, you stay in. And if you leave the mat,
then
you
you're
can,
done.
But you're not coming back on.
Yeah.
You've sacrificed your quote unquote, your life in the tournament for that match.
What else was there?
There's the wall. The wall, guys, was controversial at the time, but it's so unique. There's 3 open sides, and then there's 1 walled side.
Yeah.
So we're keeping the wall. It
I like
adds,
the wall.
Yeah,
It
adds
is
like an
different.
obstacle kind of.
And once people realize the wall is in play, people typically stay away from the wall. Honestly, I don't feel like they go towards it now.
Now that said,
what are we gonna do if it goes towards the spectators? Are we allowing it to keep going? Or are we resetting it immediately?
Few things here, one at a time. If they get a takedown on the wall and one person's kind of smushed, their neck's kind of smushed into the wall and it's cranking, or if both people are kind of smushed into the wall and they can't really maneuver, we'll reset them. But
then that's where a lot of stalling's also more than likely going to occur is once it gets to the wall. So that's when we'll be really quick to reset that.
Yeah, it's not like it's MMA where the cage gives, the wall doesn't give. But if anybody's about to get tackled into the spectators, we'll stop it. We don't want, because people are bringing kids and dogs to this stuff. We're not gonna have. This isn't PGF where everybody's spry grapplers ready to jump out of the way.
Yeah, I agree.
And plus, everyone's right on top of the action too. So we'll have the ref stop them. The cage is not in play that separates the kickboxing floor from the grappling floor. So if anybody starts trying to get on that cage, we'll break that up. But for the most part, we're gonna kind of let the wall play itself out, and we'll.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Yeah, we'll intervene if there's a safety concern or if it ruins the quality of the match.
Yeah, I like the wall. I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. I mean, you see it in karate combat. They have a wall there. It's not they're enclosed in it, so there's no way you can avoid it, and it's slanted. So
yeah, and it gives us a gimmick, an accidental gimmick.
Can somebody do a move off of the wall? Can someone?
Hell yeah, they can. So if let's say somebody's grabbing your waist and they're about to suplex you, and you're close to the wall and facing it, you could do a Neo from the Matrix run up the wall and backflip over. I mean, it probably wouldn't work. You'd probably just get suplex extra hard.
I don't think we should allow running on the wall.
No, I'm allowing it. Running on the wall.
No, bro, I don't think we can.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
I think we allow wall wrestling, but I don't think you could jump off the wall and go for a fucking armbar. That'd be wild, bro. Someone's getting hurt.
I've been training wall wrestling all
right,
week.
You heard it from me right now. I'm not allowing flying off the wall.
I'm doing a backflip off the wall first match.
Ish will probably do a backflip off the wall.
He probably will, man. That was wild. Yeah, that was crazy. He started off the match doing a backflip.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dude, if my old ass started off the match doing a backflip, I'd be gassed out. First of all, I'm not capable of doing a backflip. I'd break my neck.
I can barely get up off the mat when I get taken down, so.
Yeah, dude, I would 100% break my hips. It's not I'd have to press the button in my life alert.
We had one other thing I thought we changed. What was it? Was there anything else?
I don't know. I'd have to check the message we sent to the team captains.
We got the coaches. We got
when you stay in. We got.
Or I can just check what I said to the coaches really quick.
Yeah.
Or to the captains.
But do you want me to talk about what I'm thinking about implementing for next season while you look at that?
Felipe is my favorite person in the entire world. He is so funny. I love Felipe. Dude, him and I's DMs are so fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait to catch up on.
All right, wall is in play. Cage is not. Coaches can move. If you win, you stay in. Oh, weigh in.
Oh yeah, good call. So we had like a lot of different opinions about how the best way to handle the weight situation over the course of a 4-week season was. We decided to kind of meet in the middle with all the conflicting viewpoints, and obviously there was a weigh-in for the first weekend, and there's going to be a weigh-in for the finals since we're doing like a 2-week long intermission between the two like weigh-ins. Giving people 1 or maybe even 2 weeks isn't that bad, but I feel like 3, almost a month, that's a long time to
Yeah.
gain a lot of weight back.
Yeah.
So don't get too fat just yet. I know I'm not, because I'm also competing, which, by the way, is like the stupidest decision.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how you did that, dude. Competing and
like, guys,
doing this at the same time.
I work like 2 full-time jobs now. So I like every other day I'll get to training and I'll be like, "Oh shit, I forgot."
What's like your work day right now? Like what would you say like when we were like grinding like a week ago, like what would you say your like work day like started for like this
So-
and the other and your like real work?
8 a.m. I get up at 8, which doesn't sound too bad, and it's not, honestly, because I like my sleep. But get up at 8, log in to my actual job, like start doing admin stuff, start catching up on all the like DMs we got at like midnight the night before, all the like check league apps, check the emails, and dude, it's basically just that. Like me, I'll block off like 30 minutes in between these meetings with like a fake meeting so I can go like hop on a call with the sponsor or send out another batch of like emails. It's been a lot of me like having it really like I used to have so much time to do like take care of myself kind of stuff. Like I'd take like an hour and a half long lunch break and I'd
Dude,
work
I can't believe I
out.
lost like 12 pounds during that little stint of just like stressing about doing all of this, getting it all finished in time, finishing all the teams, making sure it all went together.
And for like the last month, it's been like Spencer and I haven't really had a day off at all.
At all.
Yeah,
my day was starting at like I would wake up at like 6 because I would be dreaming about stuff that I needed to do. So then I would wake up at 6, got onto League App, started editing stuff on there, started editing fucking reels or something else on Canva or something else like that. Then driving 2 hours to work, 2 hours back from wherever.
Us going out at like 5.
And then getting back immediately and then hitting the road again.
Driving to 8 different gyms to go try and shake hands with like coaches that may or may not be able to make time for us. Yeah, like a day off for Spencer and I for the last like 3 months has been a day where we work just our day job.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. That a day off was just like me going to work.
Yeah, and like I coach at Octopus too, so like there's a couple evenings a week where like I'm obligated there, and it's like I've been trying to train fairly regularly.
And Morgan and I have been like doing this wedding stuff, and so like I've been putting that off way more than I need to, and like not planning as much just because like we've been doing this, so I need to do that a lot more.
Atlanta, you guys are killing us.
But we like it. It's fun. We're not complaining. We're just saying like it was a lot of work for us to put all this in, so we're excited to see the product now.
But yeah, to bring this full circle though, this is like the roughest I have ever felt stepping onto a mat to compete. Like I'm so tired. I'm so tired. This was a terrible decision for me. I'm gonna get smashed. I'm gonna have Chris Schwarting just maul me.
True.
So, but I mean, it is a lot of fun though. Like it's even with all that having been said, like I did have a blast going out there with David and Dante and Jamar and mixing it up and like. Everybody kind of at least had like a few cool moments, even if they lost their match.
Dude, all the matches had a highlight somewhere. Like Jamar's takedown was sick in his match. Like there was a TP choke and there was a Gogo Plata by the same guy on Superfly. Yeah. That was insane. Like there were so many cool highlights
from a fellow Gogo Plata enthusiast. That always makes me happy to see one.
Yeah, dude, his knees didn't even look like they were hurting at all. Like he looked like he had good form and everything. Like, he wasn't gonna pop his LCL anytime soon.
Oh
man.
No, man! Yeah, he was firmly under the chin. It was beautiful.
It was a solid setup there, honestly.
But so I know we've kind of meandered away from this subject a little bit. But Spencer, we were talking about changes a minute ago.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I thought did we hit all of that?
Well, I was gonna ask if you wanted me to talk about the future change that
Oh yeah, our spelling bee.
Oh no, don't spoil it. Okay, Spencer spoiled it a little bit. But so like what I think would be the funniest fucking thing of all time that I'm probably gonna do, y'all are like, this is probably gonna happen, is next season instead of EBI overtime, we're gonna have both teams do a fucking spelling bee.
I
Like,
think
dude,
it's the funniest thing in the
That'd be
world.
the like, bro. Like, I want to watch Baby David up there trying to spell onomatopoeia. It's like thinking he's gonna have to go like choke somebody from spiderweb or something, and it's like spell pneumonia.
Dude, just imagine just being so tired.
Yeah, no,
and
dude,
then,
like,
and it has to be the two most tired people too, and they have to answer at a time limit. Like, it
Yeah.
has to-
But we'll make it like an official spelling bee. Like we'll have like some stuffy like college professor in like tweed with a.
Dude, I got a guy from Kennesaw who's a psychology teacher, bro.
Dude,
that
yeah.
counts for something,
Have
bro.
him like bust out a bow tie, and he's gonna like come set up a wooden desk with like a. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Like he'll give you like the part of speech.
Spell pneumonia.
Yeah, I just want like a bunch of Brazilian guys out there trying to spell like 8-syllable words. You're like, this is bullshit, bro.
Use it in a sentence.
So yeah, that's gonna be next season. Instead of EBI overtime, it's gonna be spelling bees.
Yes, that's a future change there.
And by the way, you guys can't get ringers either. Like, well, you know what? Yeah, they can. I'm so interested to see like 10th Planet with 3 pros and one like 60-year-old like college professor, or like Odyssey with like Brady and like Campbell, like some 14-year-old like Korean kid who won like 9 spelling bees in a row, and then like Ruben.
That'd be hilarious.
It's gonna be like that scene in Waterboy where they let the towel boy try out, and the dudes just kill him.
And he goes out on the mats, and then like it goes down to him, and he actually goes out there and taps everybody.
Dude, like a spelling bee kid is gonna tap somebody out, and the whole like place is gonna, or like some 70-year-old professor is gonna like buggy choke someone. It's gonna be nuts.
Speaking of a spelling bee kid tapping somebody out, let's watch Beto tap out somebody 50 pounds heavier than him.
Beto.
Look at that, guys.
This dude is nuts.
Is it gonna work?
And like Beto was so funny about the whole thing because he was just like constantly, none of it was like mean spirited at all, but he was like just constantly talking shit because he knew the guy had like 60 pounds on him.
Yeah, I don't know if the stream is gonna populate like it should, but it didn't work. I don't
So here, if the stream's not working, I'll do my best to kind of narrate.
think. It's doing it now, but I mean, this is just the highlights from the first day. So we have like Dante going out there getting a banana split tap, which I think which is crazy. We have Ish's backflip. This Chris Schwarting kid going out there and going crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Loved watching him compete. Who else was out there? I don't know if it's not working right now. I don't think, but
Well, to paint the picture for those of you tuning in who
That's a good
may
arse.
or may not be able to see the stream in motion right now, the Satanic Hispanics have one like 120 pounder and like 3 200 pounders. So like
I
Mitchell,
think it's like 190, 190, 183.
yeah, like Mitchell and Aiden are pretty big, but like I mean Mitchell's brother is just huge,
Josh.
like brick shit house. And
And he's like huge, bro.
yeah, like he can move too. Like the dude can wrestle. And then there's Beto, who is like his team's last person, and he's stuck out there with Mitchell's brother, who's
No,
like
he
the
was the first one that went out there, but he subbed out and then came back
Well,
in.
no, what I mean though is they were down to their last.
Oh,
person
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
time, and it was Beto, so he had to go out.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And so he goes out there, and he's clearly, for those of you who don't know Beto, he's like 140 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, he trains at ATT Team
like
Lima under Kevin.
like 5'7", 5'8". I'm sorry if you're taller than that. I just thought that's what you were. Like maybe 140 pounds. And he's like, this dude's at least 50 pounds bigger than him.
And he used the Gen Z shit talk. He
Yeah,
got
and
into his
just
head, bro.
was on top of Beto. Like he was a good sport about it too. He didn't like maul him off the start or anything.
No, yeah, that was a really good, like, cool move by him. He
Sportsmanship, yeah.
realized he had an advantage on him, so like him playing guard was
Just
really
leveling the playing field.
Yeah, like I liked seeing that honestly out of him. That was pretty
I
cool.
did too. Like it let him kind of test a different part
I
of
mean,
his
yeah, I
game
mean,
that he
like,
never.
Again, this is the Atlanta community, so like I think that like he did recognize that and he doesn't want to just like be like
Yeah, a dick about somebody half his
Yeah,
size.
dude. I mean, I think he understood, which was really cool about him. But I mean, he gave him a fair chance too. Like
Yeah, which
he had him in full mount at one point. Beto got out of it somehow and came back out with 30 seconds left.
Beto had like half a minute left and was like talking to the guy. I was like, "Yeah, give me your leg, motherfucker, if you're so confident." And the dude he gave him his leg, you know.
They literally gave him the leg, and they jumped on it.
And then Beto dove on it and immediately was able to get the bite on the heel.
It was a straight ankle.
Oh, was it a straight ankle?
Dude, Beto's straight ankle will go through your fucking leg.
Well, yeah, dude. He's got the boniest forearms. So, for any of you listening who don't know the finer points of a straight ankle lock, it's really about jamming the bony part of your forearm into somebody's Achilles and then pushing through until you get to that.
Breaking it. And Beto is good at doing that.
Beto has Ginsu knives for forearm blades. So I mean, yeah, of course, it's like putting it in a vice grip, man. But he's also a super cool kid, and it was really
this submission from Campbell was pretty cool. I don't know if it's gonna play, probably not, but this submission from Campbell was really cool. Fuck, it's not working. Oh well, Campbell, that was a sick submission too. Whatever you did there, that entry into the 411 to the heel hook was nasty.
Campbell just turned it into a jiu-jitsu influencer. What's
I know, dude. He got 17,000 views or something on that video
Campbell's
he posted.
rocking 20,000 views from the Campbell. More power to you, man.
People are getting noticed now, dude, because there's a platform for it and people see it, and we're putting effort into it, so people recognize that and they want to be a part of it.
Here's my favorite. Cool. Here's my favorite thing about that Odyssey team, and I want to talk about my division a little bit because I think mine's interesting. So my favorite thing about the Odyssey team, Campbell, Brady, Elgin, all those guys, is they're all super nice dudes.
Oh, dude, so nice. The nicest dudes off the mat.
I love those guys. I absolutely love those guys. And to see them go out there and kill it and look awesome.
Dude, that Eldon kid's a freak, bro.
Yeah, what?
Kid. I don't know how old he is, but that Eldon dude, he's nuts, bro.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
He was darsing everybody. He darsed a brown belt. He's he just got his purple belt not too long ago. Competing with these guys in this, that's crazy, bro. He's gonna be big pretty soon. I think him, people like him, Campbell, Chris Schwarting, that kid who came out of nowhere putting on a show, dudes like Aiden, dudes like that are putting on Dante. People who put on a show are getting views online. You recognize that. I love seeing that for these guys who are going out, not only they're marketing themselves now on Instagram because they see the opportunities now that they have, and they're probably gonna get asked to go on these other fights soon now because of it.
Yeah, man. And the other teams in our division. So Odyssey is obviously they're a team. You know, they're a unit from a gym. They're guys who compete together regularly,
and they train together daily.
Yeah, so they're a legit team. And then there's me, Dante, David, Jamar, and Nadeem.
We've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah, we all train, either do train or have trained at the same gym primarily together for years and years and years and years. And even if they've changed gyms, we still get together fairly regularly to roll and stuff. So we have that. Which, by the way, I thought for sure my team was going to go in and dominate. Cause
it was crazy. You thought your team was going to go in there and roll everyone. You guys are 0-2.
Yeah, well, Dante's a freak. There's no beating that guy.
Yeah.
David was
Dante. I don't think tapped any. Did he get tapped?
I don't think so.
Maybe he got tapped by somebody at the end. I'm not too sure, but I think he just went the distance with everybody, dude. He's hard to tap.
Yeah, Dante's made of iron, dude. Dante's
If you guys have ever seen Dante with the shirt off, you will hit the gym incredibly hard for the next 8 months, and you'll get on testosterone and peptides sponsored by Game Days Men's Health.
Buckhead.
Yeah.
But no, he's a monster. David Bull, really, really good wrestler, good high school wrestler. Really solid. One of E. Curry's students.
Jamar,
pro MMA fighter, who's clearly a very talented grappler.
Curtis, ex-Marine.
Yeah, and then, there's me, and I mean, granted, I've lost a shitload of weight, and I'm getting older, and I haven't really been training because we've been working, 2 full-time jobs for the last few months. But I mean, I feel like I've got a pretty good competition record.
You do that. You did really good at the last Naga tournament. You won that one, or you did really well. I can't remember how. But you competed so many times last year.
Yeah, I competed 10 times last year.
Yeah, you did good at most of your competitions too.
Yeah, I either medaled or thought I see it was gonna.
Here, I got you. You're welcome.
Thank you, buddy. That's so sweet of him. That's also why probably everybody thinks we're getting together. Again, guys, purely sexual, I promise. But no, so we thought like we were gonna be this like unstoppable force, and but right now like doing the worst of anybody because we have those two other teams in our division, which were patchwork teams. Like,
Yeah, the Misfits coming out of nowhere, bro.
Yeah,
just dominating. It's crazy.
yeah, man. Like both teams like are really because
Yeah, they're both good.
we had to like scramble to get individual free agents matched up for like,
And
last week.
we had 8 free agents that we matched up together.
Yeah, and
teams.
they're all really good, and they're working well as a unit. They become friends. Like it's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now we have like a new like group of people. I would not be surprised if like this group of people like signed up again.
Yeah.
In like the fall because like now they have like this group of people.
Yeah, there's a squad.
I would love actually to see like if we did like a free agent tournament.
Oh, like a random match or something.
Like we put the teams together.
Oh, I like that.
That would be fun.
That'd be a fun super fight night.
Oh, maybe that's what we do for the fall.
Yeah.
We put everyone into a bucket.
Trick or treat super fight.
A bucket, and then we just put people out there and we just call it out, and that's your team, and you just go right there.
Yeah, see what you can do. That's a good idea. We're gonna work on that.
Yeah, we can put that in there. We can work on that for sure.
So this week is gonna be exciting in this division, though.
Yeah, Kevin Berry's not gonna be there as well. So like in the tier 2 plus, so like there's
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that in a second. But real quick, the exciting thing this weekend is two matchup teams, the Bilkers only, and
running each other.
Misfit. They're finally squaring off against each other this weekend. So I think that's gonna be really interesting to see how both team dynamics come into play.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder how it's gonna start. Who's gonna put out first? I mean, we've given Chris like a lot of like highlight here lately. Maybe he's getting a little bit more nervous. Or like, they put him first now because like they saw like all the maybe he knows like there's a lot of stuff going on here.
But
Both of those two teams. Is that one?
no, do you know any of us in these divisions actually a coach there? We're coaches, Cowboys.
Rather than that, maybe.
The tier 2 over is going to be really interesting this weekend. Like you were starting to say, you're obviously going to be out in the West Finishers. You want the best and a little bit less. And